They call him the Wizard, the man who turned detachment into a multi-platinum empire and made Toxic the most profitable brand in music history. For over a decade, he sold us a lifestyle of excess, dark shades, and a cold-hearted persona that made him a god to some and a villain to others. But behind the designer masks and the heavy auto-tune, a much darker story has been brewing in the shadows of the legal system. A story not of luxury, but of a silence that's been screaming for over a year. Imagine 500 days, over 11,000 hours, a year and a half of milestones, birthdays, and school days, and allegedly, not a single phone call, not a single visit. This isn't just another headline. This is a breakdown of a family in real time. This is the moment where the persona stops being a meme and starts becoming a devastating reality for a child caught in the crossfire. Brittni Mealy, the woman who has been by his side through the highs and the lows, has just dropped a bombshell that has the entire industry looking at him differently. And as we dig deeper into the documents, we realized this isn't just about one child. This is about a pattern, a cycle, and this is where things start connecting in a way that will leave you chilled. To understand why this 16-month claim is so devastating, you have to understand who Brittni is in this narrative. She's not just another name on a long list. She was there before the worldwide fame. She was there when the vision was still a dream. Their son was born over a decade ago, and for years, the public saw them as the on-again, off-again couple that just couldn't quit each other.
I just want to know this. Is this the same kid that's speaking like me, whose dad is in jail for...
But as his fame grew, so did the distance. For the last few years, the drama has been played out in snippets on social media. We've seen the praise followed by the rants. It was a roller coaster, but there was always a sense that, at the end of the day, he was present. But according to new reports that surfaced recently, that image of the present father has reportedly shattered. Brittni has filed a scathing letter to the legal team, and the details are heartbreaking. According to the reports, she claims that he hasn't seen their son, who is now entering those pivotal teenage years, in over 16 months. Think about that. That age is a transition to manhood, and allegedly, the man the world calls a goat hasn't even checked in on his son's grades or medical needs in over a year. But here's where it takes a dark turn. This isn't just about a busy schedule or being on tour. Brittni is alleging something much more calculated. She claims that he hasn't just gone ghost on his son, he's reportedly ordered his entire circle, his family, and his staff to cut off the child too. Is this a case of a father being too busy for his responsibilities? Or is it something more sinister? Is it possible to be the most influential rapper of a generation while being a ghost in your own home? This is where the timeline gets even more interesting. You see, the money has always been the shield he uses to deflect criticism. In his lyrics, he talks about spending massive amounts on child support, like it's a flex. But in the real world, the courts see it differently. In recent months, a judge reportedly ordered him to increase his monthly payments. But along with that increase, there was a specific condition.
Why do you think that you are bigger than the program, or the way he gonna come with you is gonna be completely different from the way he done showed up?
He was ordered to open a $500,000 life insurance policy for the boy, with Brittni as the trustee. Standard stuff for a multimillionaire, right? Well, according to Brittni's latest claims, he reportedly failed to follow through on that deal for months. It took a bitter court battle just to get the paperwork moving. But while the lawyers were arguing over insurance policies and bank transfers, the emotional bridge was reportedly being burned to the ground. Brittni claims she never blocked access. She says she never kept the child away. She's putting it all on him, alleging that he simply stopped. And this is where we have to ask the hard questions. Why would a man with all the resources in the world, private jets, security teams, and assistants, not be able to make a 5-minute phone call to his son for over a year? Is it the brand? Has he become so consumed by the character he plays in his music that he's forgotten how to be a human being? But wait, because this is only the first piece of the puzzle. If you think this drama is isolated, You haven't been paying attention to the other names surfacing in the legal system. While the internet was busy processing the 16-month claim, another name quietly appeared on the docket. This person has been one of the most private chapters in his history, until now. In recent weeks, reports broke that a woman named Layla has filed a paternity lawsuit. She's claiming that they share a young son. Now, let's look at the timeline. If the child is 9, he was born nearly a decade ago. What was happening then? He was at the absolute top of the world. He was the most dominant force in music, and according to this new claim, while he was busy dominating the charts, he was allegedly admitting to her that he was the father. She claims he's been paying a small monthly amount voluntarily, what some would call hush money, but now she's asking the court to make it official. But here's the twist that connects everything. His response to this new lawsuit, instead of just settling, he's fighting to move the case, claiming a different jurisdiction. Does this sound familiar? It's the same tactic we saw with Eliza Reign. Remember her? The woman who fought him for years over their daughter? The woman who he allegedly tried to pay off to stay quiet? When you look at the cases of Brittni, Layla, and Eliza,
it's a shame when a bitch go to the extreme to do Botox, face fillers.
You see a masterclass in legal maneuvering. It's always about wrong jurisdiction, dismissing the case, or voluntarily paying just enough to keep the courts from digging into the real numbers. But when you connect the dots between all these women, a much darker layer emerges. It's not just about the money, it's about the silence. Eliza claimed he wanted her to disappear. Brittni claims he's ordered his family to ignore his son. Layla is just now coming out of the shadows after nearly a decade of quiet payments. Is he building a legacy, or is he building a wall between himself and his own blood? Let's take a moment to look at the music. Because in his world, the music is the confession. He's famous for lines about belonging to the streets and being a savage. For years, the internet has turned this into a meme. We laugh at the toxic tweets, we celebrate the energy. But what happens when the meme becomes reality? What happens when a 13-year-old boy watches his dad on TV, watches him on stage in front of 50,000 people, but hasn't heard his voice in hundreds of days? The psychological toll of that kind of abandonment is something no amount of child support can fix. And this is where the industry links get interesting. Look at his closest collaborators. Look at the other big names in the game. They might have their drama, but most make their children a central part of their public image. They're at the games, they're in the videos. Then you look at the connection that always haunts this narrative. Cara. We all saw the fallout. We saw the multi-million-dollar lawsuit she filed against him.
Their life that are very critical. And, I've talked about before, obviously, when you have a child.
We saw the public insults. But more importantly, we saw what happened next. She moved on with a professional athlete who stepped into the role of a father to his eldest son. The world watched as another man was at the practices, the graduations, and the birthdays. And how did he react? He mocked it. He called it not manly. He criticized the other man for doing what he was told. But when you look at the 16-month claim from Brittni, you start to see the irony. He allegedly resents the man who stepped in to be a father to his first son. Yet, according to reports, he is now completely absent from the life of his second son. The persona? Actually a defense mechanism? Is he so afraid of the vulnerability of fatherhood that he'd rather be a ghost than a parent? It gets even more complicated when you look at Josh Chavis. For a while, they seemed like the gold standard for co-parenting. They were seen at events together, but even she has hinted at the fakeness of it all, posting about her intuition being too strong for certain behaviors. It seems that every woman who enters this orbit eventually hits a wall of silence. Brittni is just the first one to put a number on it. 16 months. So, where are we now? He is currently facing multiple legal battles simultaneously. On one side, you have accusations of a level of emotional neglect that borders on cruelty. On the other side, you have a woman from his past who is finally demanding official responsibility for a child he's allegedly been managing with quiet payments for years. When you step back and look at the big picture, you see a man who has mastered the art of the disappearing act. He disappears from relationships. He disappears from court dates. And now, allegedly, he's disappeared from the lives of the people who need him most. But why now? Why is all of this coming out at this specific moment? Some industry insiders claim it's because the brand is finally losing its luster. People are getting tired of the memes. They're starting to see the human cost. Others say it's a coordinated effort by the women in his life to finally hold him accountable. But there's a third theory, one that is a bit more chilling. Look at the timing of his latest projects. He's more relevant than ever. He's at the center of the culture. Is it possible that as his fame reaches a new peak, his ego has grown so large that there's simply no room left for anyone else? Even his own children? Brittni's lawyers are reportedly pushing for the court to intervene. They want more than just money. They want a meaningful inquiry into why this father has vanished. But here's the thing, he knows how to make things vanish. Evidence, lawsuits, relationships, they all seem to dissolve under the weight of his influence. However, you can't make a 16-month silence vanish. You can't make a child's questions go away. And in the court documents, Brittni made a claim that hasn't been talked about enough. She alleged that he gave strict orders that those in his circle and family are not to have a relationship with his son. Let that sink in. This isn't just about a father being absent. If this is true, it's an attempt to erase the child from the family tree. Imagine being a grandmother, an aunt, or a cousin, and being told by the head of the family that you are forbidden from speaking to a young boy. Why would someone do that? Is it because the child is a reminder of a life he wants to leave behind? Is it because the mother is difficult in court? Or is it a power move? A way to show that in his world, loyalty to him comes before loyalty to blood. If these allegations are proven true, it paints a picture of a man who doesn't just neglect his children. He reportedly manages them like business liabilities. And that is where the narrative stops being a cool aesthetic and starts being a tragedy. As of today, his legal team is denying everything. In a letter submitted as evidence, his attorneys claim that he has complied with the court orders. They claim the insurance policy is there. They claim he's doing everything he's supposed to do. They are painting Brittni as a disgruntled ex who is looking for a payday. But here's the problem with that defense. The other women in this story aren't all disgruntled. Some have been quiet for nearly a decade. Others only fought when they felt they had no choice. When one person says you're the problem, maybe they're the problem. When everyone says you're the problem, you're the problem. The dots are all connected now. The trail leads from the high-fashion runways to the cold, sterile rooms of a family court. He may be the most influential artist of our time. He may have changed the sound of music forever. But as that 16-month clock continues to tick, the world is starting to ask, what is a king without a legacy? And what is a wizard who can't even make his own son feel seen? But here's the thing. We just got word of another filing. A filing that involves a third woman who hasn't even been mentioned in the press yet. And if the rumors are true, the 16-month silence might be the least of his worries, because someone is about to break their silence. And when they do, the empire might finally come crumbling down. What do you think? Is he truly the character we've all been laughing with? Or is he a man who has lost his way in his own myth? And more importantly, if it was your child, would you stay silent for 16 months? The truth always comes out eventually.